Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, versus Heliod, God of the Sun. Use this in our Enchantress builds. Really good card. No, think I've played it too much as a commander though. We're going to keep this hand because we have turn 1 evasion, which is exactly what we want. We also have a means of blue and black mana. So we'll go in for, and there's another unblockable, so that's good. We'll go for the Gale Rider Sliver. That is the one that we care about the least with regards to it dying. We'll just have to hope our opponent doesn't get out a 2-mana flyer. They do not. So we'll grab our Verdant Catacombs. We'll crack it for our Underground Sea because we are about to get down our commander. Hope that we rip into a big spell here. We can cheat out our commander for its commander ninjutsu cost. We'll never have to spend commander tax mana on that. And then we reveal the top card. We reveal a command tower. Just going to ditch a wasteland here because our opponent seems to be running all basics so far. They only have 4 cards in hand. I don't know if they had to mulligan at all, but they're not having the best of luck with their draws apparently. That's good for us. That means that we can get into some good stuff with Yuriko, hopefully. We'll just swing in, see what we reveal with her. We want to reveal big stuff on the top of our library so that we deal more damage to our opponent. And there you go. Temporal Trespass is 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. So we'll go for Gale Rider Sliver. And I'll just leave it there because I don't know if our opponent's waiting for a board wipe here. But that is exactly what we want to do with Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow. We can cheat it out for its commander ninjutsu cost, return an attacking unblocked creature, and put her into play, tapped and attacking. And then whenever a ninja we control deals combat damage to a player, we reveal the top card of our library and put it into our hand. And then our opponent is dealt damage equal to the CMC of that spell. And we do have some top deck manipulation in this deck, but we don't seem to be drawing into it, unfortunately. So we'll just go in at our opponent again and hope to deal some extra damage to them. We obviously are not going to be dealing too much damage to them with combat damage, and we only reveal a swamp there, unfortunately. I think we can... How many cards do we have in hand? We only need to ditch 1. So we'll just go for this thing so that we can keep all the cards in our hand. And they managed to get into Knight of the White Orchid, so that will get them a forest, not a forest, a plains into play for them because we have more lands than they do. And it does mean that we can't deal damage to our opponent with Yuriko. We do have 3 enchantments in the deck, 2 of which cost 5 mana and 1 of which costs 3. There is one from Ixalan that was just printed. And it does make all of our creatures into ninjas, so that these unblockables and flyers and things like that would all be ninjas. And we could just stack a load of triggers onto our opponent, but we're just relying on Yuriko currently. And we've just cleared off a massive stack of lands off the top of our library, so that's really good. Hopefully it'll get us into something else. Okay, Sol Ring. Never going to turn my nose up at a Sol Ring. Now then, are we close to Temporal Trespass? That is 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we will be next turn. How about we just hold up dig through time for now then? We might as well get some damage in on our opponent. It's only going to be 2 damage, and we're not going to get a Yuriko trigger there because they are not ninjas dealing combat damage. Let me just make sure we can dig through time. That is 6, 7, 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, we do. Ajani Steadfast, we don't mind. That can come in. And then is that a +1/+1? Gains first strike. It already had first strike, but it does gain lifelink, which might be relevant this game. Oh, I wish I'd blocked there. Yeah, well, I should have blocked there. We don't mind Yuriko going into the command zone again. We could have replayed it next turn. But as it stands, we'll just go for Dig Through Time here. And see if we can get into anything interesting. Dig Through Time is reveal the top 7 cards of our library. And we put some stuff into play there. Conspiracy is nice, so we'll go for a Conspiracy. And a Walker of Secret Ways. That can bounce a Ninja back to our hand if we want to. Yeah, so that's good. We'll go for Conspiracy. That makes everything we control a Ninja. So we'll be able to get some good Yuriko triggers on the stack with this thing. Not going to play out the Walker of Secret Ways yet because I want to hold up Mana Leak and Remand. And we want that to be Ninja. We don't want Human or Knight. And that makes all of our stuff ninjas, so we'll go to combat. And these things, of course, cannot be blocked. We'll go at our opponent. We don't care about Ajani. We're hoping to draw the game to a close very soon. And then... does that have flying? That doesn't say flying on it. I don't understand. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll still get a trigger off on our opponent. I'll look back on the editing later and think, why didn't you see that? We'll go for our... Yeah, that is unblockable, so we can get another trigger with that next turn. Unfortunately, didn't deal any damage to our opponent because we revealed Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, which lands, of course, do not have a converted mana cost. And Sigilled Sword of Valeron is 3 to equip. Whenever the equipped creature attacks, you get a 2/2 Knight, so it looks like this is Knight Tribal. It gains First Strike, Vigilance and Lifelink. I don't know. Slivers you control have flying. Ah, Conspiracy stops it from being a sliver. Oh, that's relevant. Might have to take Gale Rider Sliver out of the deck then. I didn't realise that. I didn't know Conspiracy stopped things from being certain creature types. So that is well worth knowing. Well, we've learnt something today, or I have. Maybe some of you already knew that. Let's have a look. Conspiracy enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type. It doesn't say creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types, which is what we would like it to say. So, yeah, Conspiracy just makes them a straight-up ninja, which is, you know, all we care about. I imagine the only card in the deck that is hurt by Conspiracy is Gale Rider Sliver, so, yeah, I'll have to remember that in future. I don't know if we're actually going to take that out of the deck or not. I'm going to do what I should have done last turn here, and go for Yuriko blocking on that thing. Because if it's in the command zone, it means that we can flash it out. We'll go for our Nether Traitor here, which will of course be a Haste Shadow Ninja. Nether Traitor's an all-star in the deck, really good. The fact that it's pretty much unblockable and has haste is really good. So we'll just go in at our opponent with everything. And these definitely are ninjas, I think. I make no promises. And then in response to blocks, we definitely want our Yuriko out. And I think we'll get down our Walker of the Secret Ways. And we'll bounce that thing. And that will get us some triggers. This is... we'll reveal cards first. That's 1 damage. That's 3 damage. And what is that? That is 5 damage in total to our opponent. Not the greatest reveals, but we're at least getting card advantage. And we at least get to see our opponent's hand, see what kind of stuff they've got for us. Now then, Scroll Rack. Yeah, Scroll Rack's going to do a lot for us next turn. I'm actually just going to ditch some stuff here that we don't care about. And I could have played out an unblockable creature there, but I just wanted to hold up Mana Leak and Remand. Yeah, they're going for their big creature there that they're going to give lifelink, I imagine. They certainly are, and I haven't actually looked at what's in here. Yeah, Austere Command is pretty much the only thing I care about there, but they are nowhere near Austere Command yet. So we need to get our unblockables out again. In fact, we can just go wide on our opponent. Yeah, I think we could go wide on our opponent. Personal Tutor something onto the top. Yeah, we'll do exactly that. Personal Tutor something nice and big on top of our library. What we go for? Yeah, there's Rags to Riches. Curse of the Cabal is 10. 5, 6, 7. I think Rags to Riches is the most expensive thing in the deck. Let's just check this. 6. No. No, I think this is the best thing to go for. We'll grab Rags to Riches. And we'll swing in at our opponent. We'll at least get a damage in with our Nether Traitor. And then I imagine both of our ninjas are going to die here. It's kind of like pick your poison for... Oh, we could actually protect this ninja. Oh no, it has to be unblocked for ninjutsu to work, so scratch that. We do actually have to have our creatures unblocked. Skull Snatch. I'm still not used to what all these ninjas do. Whenever this deals combat damage, exile 2 creature cards from their graveyard. Yeah, don't really care about that. I might just bounce the Nether Traitor anyway because it has haste. It's a good way of getting our commander out. So in that case, we'll go for the Skull Snatcher here. Bounce back the Nether Traitor. It's at least an extra point of damage. And it is, of course. Yep, that's okay. And Yuriko. Is this a ninja? Well, it's a ninja anyway, thanks to Conspiracy. I don't know why Yuriko didn't trigger there. We dealt damage to our opponent, didn't we? And not a Ajani. Okay. Again, through editing, I'll probably see what I did wrong there. Go for that unblockable and this unblockable. And then we'll hold up counter magic. I think we can safely get down the Nether Traitor as well. Actually, no, it has haste, so we won't risk it. We'll just go for Scroll Rack. And pass over to our opponent and hope, even if we draw into something big, we can Scroll Rack it back on top of our library. So hopefully, if we get Yuriko out next turn, yeah, I'm not sure why this thing didn't trigger. It dealt combat damage to our opponent, I think. It must have done because we got the Skull Snatcher trigger there. I've had some really fast games with this Yuriko deck, but I'm also having some games that are a little bit more grindy. We do manage to pretty regularly get the win off, but sometimes we just get into turn 3 or 4 wins. And we're going to let all of this through and hope that we can rip into some good stuff with our next turn. Because if we can't, then we are... Yeah, we're going to struggle. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot we put that on top with the personal tutor, didn't we? Which didn't trigger Yuriko. Yeah, that's right. So we'll get down Nether Traitor. And we can just keep recycling this thanks to the Scroll Rack. That's why Scroll Rack is such a powerful card in this deck. Arguably even better than Sensei's Divining Top, because we can put things from our hand on top once a turn. We get back into the All-Star that is Nether Traitor. The haste is really relevant in this deck. And then we swing in with everything. We'll leave back the Skull Snatcher because it's not unblockable. We can block some damage with that. And is this thing on attack? Whenever it attacks, they get a... Yeah, that's right. So they have lethal on us next turn if we don't manage to do anything about it. But hopefully we are about to do something about it. We'll go for, yeah, pass over the blockers. And then it's Yuriko cheating out her command attacks again. And we'll get the Nether Traitor back into our hand. And then we'll wait for the Yuriko triggers to go on the stack. And there we go. And then we'll go for Scroll Rack. And we'll put that on top and say done. And we get into Bitter Blossom, which we really need in the early game if we're going to make use of it. And there we go, we deal a big wad of damage to our opponent. And another one. And yeah, we managed to pull that off because we ripped into Devastation Tide is 5, 6, 7. And then I always forget what this is. This 11 mana, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 mana for this. 11 CMC for that, which equals 11 damage revealed off Yuriko. So, nice showing for us there. We were holding on to counter magic because I was actually taking my opponent lightly there, to be honest, and they were starting to pile the damage on. So, should have definitely countered the Cathar's Crusade, but I was definitely expecting to be able to stack the top of our library, and I'm curious to see why the Skull Snatcher didn't trigger Yuriko. Yeah, like I say, I'll see that in editing and realise why that didn't trigger. But failing that, it might be a bug online or something, I don't know. But anyway, that's Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow. Really enjoying playing her, and I hope you are enjoying these games from the Commander 2018 set. Got a few more to come yet. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.